If you thought this video was helpful, make sure to subscribe. I do a bunch of content concerning Dokkan, whether it's helping newer players, like in this video, giving out advice on how things work, or, unit showcases or summons. I do a bunch of things, so make sure to subscribe to not miss out on any videos that are upcoming. I'm going to try to explain to you guys as quickly and as simply as possible what are rotations, how they work, and why they are so important to the game of Dokkan. Now, first things first, what a rotation is well, rotations, I should say, is you're always going to have two pairs of characters going in battle one turn after the other. So you're always going to have the same characters, well, almost all the same characters into battle. And basically how that works is the units that are in the first slots right here, so slot 1 and slot 2, are always going to come back every 2 turns, and the units that are in slot 3 are going to come back every 3 turns. So these two are your main rotations, and these third slot units are called floaters because they are not going to be part of your rotations. They're simply not going to be there at all. You'll see once I show you. So let me demonstrate how it works. So in my team, the two rotations that I build are the 5th year anniversary units together, and this new Goten and Trunks, and this Goten right here are my second pair. So these two are my first pair, these two are my second pair, and you'll see. So I'll repeat myself so it's clear. The first 2 units, right, so Gogeta and Vegeta will come back in 2 turns, and the Gohan and Goten LR are going to come back in 3 turns. So we're here in the next turn, right, and I told you guys these 2 guys were my second pair on this team. Now, if we take into consideration what I told you last turn, if I keep these 2 in the first 2 slots, they're going to come back in 2 turns. And this guy will come back in 3 turns. You might start seeing a pattern here. So that means since I put Gogeta and Vegeta in the first 2 slots last turn, they're going to come back next turn. And the turn after that, these 2, since I put them in the first 2 slots, are going to be in the turn. I'll show it to you guys, but I think you should start to get the point on how it works, basically. So let me attack, and I'll cut to the next turn, and you'll see exactly what I am talking about. So I know it might be confusing since it's not very simple to understand. I mean, once you really understand it, it is logical, but for newer players, I do understand if you are confused. But yeah, let me cut to when I am finished with this turn. So you see these characters, right? These 2 characters were in the first 2 slots in the first turn of the battle, right? We are now 2 turns later, and we still have them in battle. Now I'm gonna again put them in the first 2 slots because these guys are my main rotations, and you're gonna start seeing a pattern, right? You see the 2 characters we put together in the first 2 slots are together now. So again, let me put them in the first 2 slots, and guess who you will see in the next turn? Well, you guessed it, it is the 5th year anniversary unit. So I mean, I could show it again and again and again. Try it for yourself. That's how rotations work. Basically, 2 characters you put together in the first slots are always going to come back, and if you have been paying attention, you'll realize that the third characters that we always have with these 2 is never the same, because as I said in the beginning, they always come back 3 turns later. Now these guys are called floaters. So when you build a team, you want to build basically 2 pairs, so 4 characters are going to be part of your rotations, and 3 floaters. Now that I showed you how they worked, I'm going to explain why they are so important. Basically, as you saw in my rotations, I put the 2 5th year anniversary units together, and my second rotation is basically 2 hybrid Saiyans unit, right? We have a Goten and a Trunks and Goten. You want to put characters that link up well together and complement each other on a rotation. Now if we look right here, this Gohan and Goten, once he has a super attack, you'll see they share 5 links. Now that's pretty good. And these two are good characters, right? But Goten also has a lot of defense and he has damage reduction. So I can basically just put Goten in the first slot. This Trunks and Goten, they get all their defense after they super attack. So you can see how for these two characters specifically, running them in the rotation is pretty important, because the Trunks and Gohan cannot be run in the first slot. They're gonna get killed if they get supered before super attacking. As you can see, you can just put higher, how do I say this? The characters that have more defense in the first slot, and more hard-hitting characters in the second slot, because they're not gonna be the one tanking all the first attack in the first slot, as you can see, right? Hopefully that makes sense. You're really maximizing your characters by links and efficiency by not only running them with a character that they work well with, they're always into battle, so they're always going to do damage, it's not random, and you're not going to have a turn where you have just a bunch of weak characters that are going to kill you instantly. Hopefully that made sense. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I hope this was clear. I tried to, really explain how rotations work as quickly as possible. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you thought this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.